Hello, my friends. Welcome to the latest Denny Artachi Show podcast. Today's topic, I really been thinking about it lately, and the topic today is gratitude and attitude. I was reminded recently, I know more, unfortunately, than a few people dealing with cancer right now. Some of them early stage, many of them stage 4. And what I find is their perception is just totally different than those of us. Why does it have to have cancer to appreciate that we're all on borrowed time? Their bravery and their willingness and their commitment to do better and live every day, one day at a time, is amazing. A lot of people who deal with drug and alcohol issues have the same mindset. So it reminded me, as bad as I think my life is, we have no problems. So I started writing down, what am I grateful for? Well, I got to wake up today. I have a roof over my head. I have some health issues, but nothing major. So why am I bothering getting upset over little crazy things that mean nothing? In life, if you're lucky and you pay attention, you look at some of the bonehead, stupid things that we've done in the past. We all have. We're flawed by nature, but through the grace of God, we get direction. And a lot of these cancer friends of mine, I hate to typecast them, but my friends who are going through cancer, they remind us that our first priority is to be happy in life and to experience joy. And think about that, myself included. If I haven't been happy in life, it's my fault, not what was happening. It's a work though, in progress. It takes work. If you've ever seen a person who has a calm demeanor, gets along with most everybody, and really doesn't get frazzled, you better believe that it didn't happen natural. It is a conscious effort that they work on, they think about every day. Myself included. The things that have angered me in the past are ridiculous. So what is important? Staying calm, having our inner peace, and being grateful. I think, unfortunately, including me, many times that I haven't been happy in the past is one of the things I did was comparing myself to others or worrying about what others think. It's easy to do. Look, I have a financial company, I'm on social media, I play music, but it's not a good recipe for happiness and sustainability in life. And again, are you grateful for what you have? When you're comparing yourself to other people, it just it doesn't suit you very well to do that, because you forget about what you have. You start focusing on what you don't have. And again, if we all took out a pen and paper and started writing the things that we have going on rather than what we don't have, we're going to be grateful and say, oh my God, I have it pretty good. And then there's my friends, like I say, who are dealing with stage 4 cancer, that get up every day, have amazing courage. What the hell do we have to complain about when you compare it to them? I'm a man of faith. I believe in God. I know I learn things from atheists and agnostic people as well, because they figure this is as good as it's going to get. So I'm not going to waste any time because I'm on borrowed time. But I've seen God's miracle work too many times in my life. I really have. And if it wasn't for the grace of God, I would be a basket case or a lunatic or something like that. But even those who, the thing about religion, and I hate to use the word, but the love of God teaches us to love one another, love ourselves, be fruitful. A lot of atheists and agnostic feel the same way. They don't take their non-belief as a green light to be horrible, mean to others. And when you look and study Jesus and God and the teachings, what does it teach? It teaches that we're all flawed. It teaches that we should love one another and treat others the way we would like to be treated. But we all have bad spots. Again, We all have bad times. There are many times in the past that I've just didn't hold it together. It takes a lot of work, like diet and exercise. You don't become a calm, wonderful, loving human being without work and effort. Life's not easy. Life is hard. People have lost their jobs. COVID came. People die. Think about all the many friends that we've lost and family members. Wonderful, beautiful people that died early due to health or accidents. You think they would waste the time that we do over some of the little small petty stuff? I don't think so. You know, the other thing besides comparing ourselves to others is other people's opinions, criticism. I could never be a critic or a judge. I'm sorry, I'm just not. Sometimes I say, hey, I'd be a great politician. No, I'm not from an Ivy League school, or I'm not perfect. Certainly, we don't have perfect politicians. That's a tough job. So, criticism, like praise, you can take it for what it is, or just not give it that much meaning, because ultimately it's what we think of ourselves. And how we think of ourselves matters 100%. I'm not saying you should think you're the greatest person on this planet or have a huge ego. But if you form the habits of thinking before we speak, taking care of ourselves, having empathy, owning up to when we screw up, this is really important. I have plenty of opportunities that I've screwed up in life and I've owned up to it. But I had a lot of good lessons in life. I think a happy, successful life is one with lots of controversy and adversity. One of my greatest role models when I was very young, because I'm an old guy, was Dr. Martin Luther King. And you know, he talked about how people judge a man not when they have everything and they're in comfort. I don't remember the exact quote, but how you judge a person when they have adversity. Like, how do you deal with things that don't go your own way? Did you lose your job? Are you short of money? That's how you judge the character of a human being, and it's hard. It's a lot of work. But ultimately, if we focus on it, we think about how we'd like to be, not how we don't want to be. Because the mind just keeps giving us more and more of what we focus on. You know, there may be some people that don't like this podcast, but if I can reach one or two that get it and I can help them, it's worth it. And I'm also doing it for me as a reminder. I'm a work in progress myself. And there have been many things in life through the years with my potential that didn't work out the way I'd like it to, or I lost money, or I was unsuccessful, or I failed. So what did I do about it? I picked myself up. I have my own financial services company. I've played music. It's a lot of work to get up, be positive, when sometimes everything is falling apart. I work for myself. No one cares whether I get up, shave, or go to work. They don't. I don't envy those who can't handle it. Many people do need a coach, a manager, someone to make sure they get up every day. But we have to be our own coach. We have to remind ourselves every day to be grateful, not really care too greatly about what others think of us, especially if it's negative. Think about it this way. Have you ever behaved terribly to others or yourself because you were in a bad mood, or you treated someone badly and had nothing to do with them? Of course we have. We all have. Well, the same is true. It's only our ego that says, well, why would they treat me this way when I'm who I am? Well, I'm just another human being. And people have bad days. So understand that, get over it, forgive, and move on. And remember, you have to think every day of who you'd like to be. If you're not that person already, think about it as if you currently have it. Like, I'm calm today, I'm happy today, I'm grateful today. I'm going to do the best that I can do today, and I can only live today. Now, the important thing is you can't just think about things. You have to take action and form the habits. What I recommend all of us do, and I do, take out a piece of paper, write down things you'd like to accomplish, why you would like to accomplish, and put the action forth. It's not going to happen overnight. So this holds true not just for business, but to be grateful, happy, and peaceful. Wake up every day and say, this is how I'm going to be today. Write down your thoughts and take action. There's a great book, The Uncommon Denominator, and I believe Alfred Gray was the published. I don't remember. But in the book, and I read many books to help myself. I steal as many good thoughts as I can. And really the difference between successful and unsuccessful people are successful people were willing to do what unsuccessful people were not willing to do. And it was for the reasons. I always say diet and exercise is a great example. You don't just take a pill or go to a gym for a week or two and you're in shape and you're done. I know for me it's always been a struggle. I've always had extra weight for the last 5 to 10 years, but that was then. I'm on a different path. I've curtailed my alcohol consumption, changed my eating habits, and every day I work on it, and guess what's happened? I'm sleeping better. My blood pressure is really good right now, but it didn't happen overnight. We have to all have habits of whatever it is that we want in life. We have to work towards it. We're always admiring great athletes or great musicians that have made it and all these things, and we're disillusioned to think that it just happened overnight. Nothing could be further from the truth. There are many great guitar players that I listen to, and I'm just awed in how well they play. But I don't see that they've been practicing and playing for many hours more than I. One of the things that have made me angry, I cannot physically play the guitar like I was able to many years ago through some muscle and joint issues that I don't post because, again, compared to my friends that are dealing with cancer, I have no problems. So I do the best that I can. I play, I enjoy it. I pray to God for the better. The only thing that I can control is what I do, not external factors, not the fact that I've changed. So I could either feel sorry for myself or make the best of it. And I choose the latter. Now again, I'm nowhere near perfect, and every day I want to be a better person, better than I was, not from someone else. We're all in this together, folks. Nobody's better than anybody. I don't care how much money you make or how much success you've had. We're all still human beings. We all have the same desires and likes. We want to be happy. We want to be successful. We want to help others. I think a life of service to others is a wonderful life worth living. Think about it. You're doing other things for other people, not just yourself. Parents understand this. Teachers understand this. There are many vocations out there that people don't get into it because they want to be the richest, living in Bel Air with the fancy cars type of people. We all need money. Without money, we can't pay our bills. We can't buy food. But of course, it's not the recipe for happiness, because there are many rich people that are miserable. And that's the truth. So how do we get to happiness, or how do we become gracious? Start writing down what we have. Start being grateful for what you do have. If you have someone in your life that loves you, you're lucky. If you have your health, you're lucky. If you had parents who love you, or if they're still alive, you're lucky. We're lucky to live in a great country, United States of America. Are we perfect? Absolutely not. Some of our history is not only acceptable, but makes me sick to think about it. But ultimately, we stand for a country that promotes freedom, equality, and allows people to become as great as they would like to be. We're not perfect. Nobody is. So cut yourself some slack. If you've been going through a rough time, I hope this message reminds you that that was yesterday, this is today, and the way to be happy and turn it around is to formulate your thoughts. Take a plan of action. I would also speak to clergymen out there. It's not just psychologists that help you. There are many walks of life that can help you go through a rough patch that you're going through now. The problem is many people are watching too much of the media, and the media, their main job, it seems, is divisiveness. They don't want us talking to each other. They don't want us agreeing to disagree and being open to learn something. Most every day I learn how I'm off base on something. Oh, got it wrong. I was off kiltered. It was my attitude. But this takes work, believe me. I think back, even though I think I'm pretty smart, I look back at some of the things I've done in my life and I'm like, wow, that was pretty stupid of you. And it's okay to be stupid in life. It's not okay to remain stupid. So that's the difference. And if you've done things that you shouldn't have and it's affected other people, reach out to them. Hey, they may not be ready to accept your apology, but at least you've made the effort to seek forgiveness. And forgive yourself. We're flawed human beings. Cut yourself some slack. Decide today that you're going to turn things around, but also know that it's going to take work. It's not going to happen overnight. I would love to think that we just think of something and it happens, but that's just not how it works. I look at many of the successes that I've had in my life. Never thought that I'd have my own financial services company. Never thought I would have played with the many great musicians that I have in the past. Never thought that I would own a beautiful home in Jupiter. If you would have asked me years ago, I would have maybe asked you to pee in a cup. But then there's other things that I can do better with that I'm unhappy about. I need to be more successful. But ultimately, I can only live one day at a time. And that's how we all are, one day at a time. Certain habits. Shut off the TV, stop listening to media, even though that's ironic because this podcast is part of media. But what I mean is the news. It's the news, they're in the bummer business. They talk about terrible things that are out there. Someone was killed or bad things that are happening to the economy in the world. We can only control what we can control. And so try not to have your mind filled with so much negativity. Read more. Also have habits of exercise, being outdoors. Depressed people do not go outdoors. They don't enjoy nature. They don't go for walks. They don't exercise. Our body helps feed our mind. I don't care if you just get up and walk for 15 minutes. Do something. Be outside. You'll feel better. You will never say, I'm so sorry that I exercised, or I'm so sorry that I cut back on my alcohol consumption, fried foods, pizza. Oh God, now we're talking my favorite junk food here. But you have to eat well, drink lots of water, and you have to exercise. It is, I'm going to say, virtually impossible to have a great mind if you don't take care of your body. The other thing that I think we all have in common in this thing called life is we need to listen more to each other and we need to have empathy for each other. There are many stories out there of people who overcame adversities and odds because they had the right attitude, but they reached out and got help from others. And think about this. When you're having a bad time, when someone listens to you and is there for you, how does that make you feel? Makes us feel great. So practice empathy. Let's talk to each other. Staying calm is a superpower that I still need to master. Boy, if I live a life that I never get angry again, that's an incredible life. But it's going to happen natural. It's not going to be by any drug that I took, by any booze that I drank. It's going to be something that happens because I wished it to happen, I focused on it, and I kept my eye on the prize. So what is the eye? What is the prize? The prize, folks, is to be happy because we don't know how long we have on this earth. The prize is to have joy, to be grateful of others, to give back and part to the community and others. A lot of great musician friends of mine, as I am a musician, we play not just for ourselves, but to give joy to other people. There's no greater gift than that. Unfortunately, it doesn't always help our bank accounts, but that's not why we do it. Certainly in my financial services, I do okay. Compared to other people, I'm a broke pauper. But compared to some people, I'm rich beyond imagination. So it's all relative. But ultimately in my practice, I'm here to help people. I'm not here to make commissions or get as rich as fast as I can. Just like my podcast, I don't know if it always reaches to everyone out there. Everything I do, or at least try to do, is to feel good, help others, be successful. It doesn't always work out that way. We have setbacks, but we work on it. I think staying calm is a superpower. Patience has not been one of my virtues. The other thing that I think many people forget to do is to relax. Sometimes it's hard, and I get it. If you're out of money, if you lost your job, or things don't go the way you want them to go, it's hard to relax. But I have to ask you and myself, have I ever succeeded because I got angry enough to make something happen? No, I think if I'm an MMA fighter, that might come in handy. But for life and in general, not going to happen. I think we should also have a sense of humor. Laugh at ourselves. I crack myself up with some of the dumb things that I've done in life. I really do. So if we can laugh at ourselves, not at other people, because think about it, a lot of people are struggling right now, and I don't think it's nice, healthy, or wise to laugh at people when they're down. We should help people, just like we should help ourselves. And staying calm and relaxing is the best way that we can deal. So how do we do that? Slow our breathing, exercise, the diet, shut off the media, read books, whether it's old philosophers or current authors that give us advice to put us in the right mindset. The other thing I noticed is a lot of successful, positive people have faith, not just in God, but faith that things will work out no matter what. So we can either have a negative defeatist attitude, or we can have an attitude that even though it's a struggle, even though this is painful, I'm going to get through this. Isn't that what we want all our friends who are currently dealing with cancer to do? I think so. I think that we want them to have faith to get through this. And again, this message was really motivated. I just found out recently another friend of mine with stage 4 cancer, a wonderful, beautiful, I don't think I've ever seen this person angry in the 30 plus years that I've known him. And so he's depressed right now, and I've tried to reach out to him, and I understand, wouldn't you be? But then there are others who are dealing with this terrible disease admirably, and they teach all of us that we really have no problems compared to the big picture. Remember, we're all going to go into the, other side eventually. What's on the other side, we don't know. I am a man of faith, but, I believe in a loving God, not a punishing God, that if I don't do everything that a certain book says, I'm going to burn in hell. Yeah, that doesn't work for me too much. just like the political scheme of things, there's too much rhetoric going on. Both sides are guilty of lunacy from time to time. Can we really trust everything that they're saying? No. Can we control what they're doing? No. We can only control what we're doing. Here's I alluded, or I stated earlier, not to take things personally. I've been guilty of this. So that's, once again, we're putting a lot of weight in what other people think of what we're doing, what we're saying, what we look like. Ultimately, it's our lives. Do no harm to others. I think one of the greatest things to live by is whatever you do, don't try and mess up somebody else's life. Even if they've done you wrong, just get over it. Life is too short. It's like drinking poison and hoping that it affects somebody else. That's crazy. And remember, as you're forming new habits, what got you here won't get you there. If you want a different life, you have to do different things. I love to say exercise. I do go to the gym. There are people who are in much better shape than I. But you know what? I just turned 59. And I know a lot of 59-year-olds that would probably like to trade places with me. And believe me, I'm not all that. It's just all relative. I work at it. I still have so far to go. Many of the people at the gym that are in such great shape, I talk to them. I see how they exercise, but their diet is so, dialed in. In business, I have many great partners. Oh my God, they're so successful. They have so much money, and I love to pick their brain, but they have a mindset. They don't use excuses. They don't let things get in their way. When problems come, as they always will, they work on solutions. They don't cry and say, poor me. So, if we're all going to be happy and successful in this life, we have to focus on this. I hope this message finds you well. I know recently I was on cloud nine because I've been playing the guitar and singing for so many years. And I've loved many great guitar players. Jimmy Page, Jimi Hendrix, Jeff Beck, the list goes on and on and on. But if I were to pick one guitar player that I think overall was the greatest, or they said, Denny, you can only listen to one guitar player for the rest of your life, that would be Larry Carlton. And guess what, folks? I recently got to meet him, talk with him, take a picture, get an autograph. I feel like such a groupie. But this is a guy that in 1988 was shot in the neck, miraculously survived, couldn't play the guitar, thought he could never play it again. Of course, history shows that that was not indeed true. And so I'm so grateful I got to meet him. What a great, great, great Grammy Award-winning musician. And of all the things that I can look back in life, I have a lot of great accomplishments, but I also have a lot of disappointing setbacks. From my own doing, I might add. I'm responsible. If I'm responsible for my failures, then I can be responsible for my successes. I have to own up to it. I am owning up to it. Life's not easy. It's never meant to be. But we can hang around people who share the same goals, and that is to be grateful, to move forward, to be happy, to not harm other people, to do the best that we can, and know that life is like a great apothecary scale. It gives back many times more than what we put in, but we have to be willing to put in the effort. And so whether it's being successful, just being happy, being more calm and at peace, it's going to take work, but get with other people, listen more, get organized, take care of your body, take care of our minds, shut down the negative news media. We're all in this together, this thing called life. Anyway, I hope that some of you have gotten something out of this message. I hope you're moving towards the life that you want to. And if you're dealing with health issues and things that are out of your control, even more so to appreciate every day and the people who do love you. I'm sure there are plenty. There's many people that have died prematurely that were wonderful, incredible human beings. And that's just how life is. So make it a great day. Share this podcast if you'd like. Again, it's the Denny Artachi Show. It's on all the majors. I have a YouTube channel as well. And don't forget that I also help not just music, but I also help people with their financial well-being to take care of their families. So take care, and thanks for listening, everybody. It's been a pleasure.